about you, but this has to be a need for me.
Beautiful, blowing beautiful, beautiful, blowing beautiful, beautiful, blowing beautiful, beautiful, blowing beautiful.
Hey y'all, it's me, your girl Blessed Trust, coming back to you with another video. And as you know, this is a channel where we go and take our piece and we give God the pieces. So if this is your first time seeing this face, I am Martina, aka Blessed Trust. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this channel. Here on this channel, my husband and I, we are building a semi-custom home. Yes, to God be all the glory. And we are documenting our new construction journey process right here on this channel. Feel free to catch up. You can click the Building Our Semi-Custom Home link, and that will take you to all the videos on our process. Also, if you want to just learn more about us and learn about our journey to home ownership, feel free to check out our video on the 9 simple, easy, practical steps to becoming a homeowner. So thank you so much for tuning in, and for people that are already part of this blessed family, thank you so much and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about something that is crucial. I think this is so important for everyone to have that is planning on purchasing a home. It is a needs and wants list. So can you guess what those wants are that we got? If so, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think they are. A needs and wants list was pretty important because this helped Tom and I to clarify what it is that we wanted. I think that a lot of times when you're in search for a home, it's so exciting, and sometimes if you're not clear on what you want, you can kind of lose focus. So it was really important to us to kind of just narrow down what exactly we needed and what was a want. So it was also important for our realtor to know these things too. So as soon as we got this list together, we then forwarded it to our realtor to let her know, like, hey, this is what we need, this is what we want. It would be ideal if we could have both, but these things we cannot compromise with, and that is our needs list. Our first home really set the bar pretty high. And so our needs list really was just like, we need this because our first house had this. And so, or we want this because our first house had this. Our first house really did come with a lot of bells and whistles. However, space was not one of them. Our first need was that we needed a 3-car garage. This was important. Our first home had a 2-car garage. A 3-car garage was important because we wanted to have some additional storage. In our first home, we did have a storage shed in the back. So that's where we held like our lawnmower and stuff like that. So that did help out. We were able to store our bikes back there, the lawn equipment back there. But we did prefer, like, okay, can we have a 3-car garage? Because just in case mom wants to come over, if she wants to live with us, if she wants to spend the night, she could also park her car in this 3rd bay. So even if we don't use the 3rd bay for storage, or if we use it for just an additional person to park their car, that would be a convenience. And so our next need and non-negotiable was that we had to have a basement. Again, storage was a big issue with our first home, and it was important for us to make sure that we had a basement for additional storage. But also, Tom wanted a man cave, and rightfully so. He works hard, and the basement could be finished or unfinished. Another non-negotiable for us is that we wanted to make sure that this new home had an office space. I pretty much am a stay-at-home mom. However, when I do work, I tend to work virtually and I work from home. So our next need was 4 bedrooms. And in addition to that, we said, okay, if it only has 4 bedrooms, because again, 4 bedrooms was the minimum. So we said, okay, if it only has 4 bedrooms, then it has to have the unfinished basement with the egress window and the rough end, so that we could turn that into a 5th bedroom. Our next need was that we wanted to make sure that the kids had their own separate bathroom. We didn't want the kids and our guests to share a bathroom. Typically how you'll see this is set up as like a Jack and Jill. So I would have loved to have like a Jack and Jill, but whatever we had, I wanted to make sure that the kids had their own dedicated bathroom. So yes, they would share a bathroom, but the guests would have their own separate bathroom. So our next need is that the house that we chose, it had to have a neighborhood park. Again, I am a stay-at-home mom, and one thing that we like to do often is go outside. And I love walking. And sometimes we don't always want to venture out, but we just want to have the option to stay right in our neighborhood and just walk to the park. And so it was important for the neighborhood to have an area that the kids could play in. So another thing that this house had to have was a loft. Our first house really spoiled me because the loft was kind of like my retreat. I just loved it. The loft was upstairs, so you would go this way to go to the bedrooms and this way to go to the loft. So it really felt like its own little apartment. And I just loved it. We had a little refrigerator up there. I mean, it was just amazing. And I just love that, you know, when I went upstairs, it wasn't just bedrooms, but we had another space to kind of retreat to. And I just love that. I'm all about family, and I love how, yeah, you can have your own private places, but also you have more communal places too. And the loft definitely is one of those spaces. And I love the variety that a loft offers. Because you can turn it into a study area, you can turn it into a play area or a little TV time. You can put a TV there and you can have a little TV time together. So it just offers a lot of opportunities. So the next house, I did not want to lose that feature. It had to have a loft. And last but definitely not least, I was not moving to anyone's house unless I had a 2-story family room. That was so huge to me. And again, my first house had a 2-story family room. You know, you really don't know something until you've experienced it. And I really didn't realize how much I loved having a 2-story family room until I started looking at all these homes, and I was wondering, like, why isn't it doing anything for me? And that's when I realized, like, it's the 2 stories. I really love having a 2-story family room. The family room is the area where you spend the most of your time. It's just awesome, of course, to have tall ceilings, but even if you can't have tall ceilings like throughout your home, just having it in that family area, it just, to me, it makes it feel more grand, but also it just makes it feel like we're not just sitting on top of each other. And then it offers room for more lighting because you offer in more natural light from the windows, and I'm a big windows girl. So that is something, that's another feature I did not want to compromise on. I said this next house, it has to have a 2-story family room. I am not giving this feature up. So as you can tell, your needs don't necessarily have to be just a need per se. And what I mean by that is that I know, like, really in life, all we need is like food and water and things like that, and Jesus, of course. But what I mean by that is that it just doesn't necessarily have to be like that concrete, meaning if you know that this is something that you don't want to compromise on, like, I am not going to be happy in a house that has this, I'm not going to love it, then that is a need. Now, if it's something that you can compromise on, then that is a want. But if it's something that you feel strongly about, then that's a need. So before we continue, if this is content that you're enjoying, please don't forget to just give me a thumbs up and just let me know, like, hey, really enjoying this, great job. So again, wants are things that you're willing to compromise on. Like, this will be amazing, but if I don't have it, then okay, I'm cool. I could still love this house. Our wants was a front porch. I love homes with beautiful front porches. Actually, that's a part of my dream home, to have a beautiful front porch. Actually, there's a channel that I watch. Her name is Chateau d'Amour, and their front porch is glorious. And so if you can subscribe to them, go ahead and check them out. I think they're almost ready for their empty house tour, so you'll get to see that beautiful grand front porch. Another thing that we wanted and would have loved, but it wasn't necessarily a need, was a walkout basement. Walkout basements are the coolest thing ever, and then you get to have like those 2-story decks. Like, my dream home has a walkout basement. Another want was a sunroom. I just love windows and I love natural light in a house. And so if we could have a sunroom, that would be amazing. Another want of mine was a beautiful stairwell. I just love a grand stairwell, and typically to have those really nice stairwells, you have to have like a 2-story foyer. Another want was hardwood. Our last home, we had travertine in the kitchen, and then the rest of the home was hardwood, and it wasn't vinyl, it was hardwood. This was upstairs and downstairs, and I love that. So another thing that we wanted is for us to have a main bedroom downstairs and with an ensuite. We wanted to make sure that that main bedroom basically had a full bathroom connected to it on the main floor. So another want that I had was that, and again, some of these are really getting into like my dream home, but another want that I had was that I really wanted our bedroom to have its own private balcony. And my girl Marsh Forever, Tiana, her and her husband, they have a balcony off of their bedroom, and it is amazing. Please check out their channel. Again, shameless plug for Marsh Forever. But yeah, I really love the idea of a bedroom having a balcony. And yes, I did send this to my realtor. This is the printout right here. She probably was looking at me like, girl. But yeah, it definitely was a want that I had, and I still have that, but it was a want, so it's something that I'm willing to compromise on. Our next want was to have a nice big backyard. Our previous home did have a nice sized backyard, and so we wanted to make sure that the lot that we have, because we do have 2 little ones, that we had a nice sized backyard. Having a nice sized backyard really came in handy during the COVID months, because we were able to kind of just still allow the kids to get outside and play, but of course we were able to still social distance. So there's so many great advantages to having a nice backyard. Tommy loves to cook out, and so it was just really good having a nice sized backyard. A next want, and I can't believe I put this as a want because this is a pretty strong want, but I wanted to make sure that we had a walk-in pantry. Yeah, I just love walk-in pantries. I am very big on organization. Even the pantry that we had in our previous home, it was just a reach-in type pantry, and that was still very organized, but I wanted to be able to really store even more things, because as my family grows, as the children get older, we're going to need even more storage space, and so I just love the idea of having a walk-in pantry. Another thing that I really wanted, our previous home, we had a laundry room, but it was kind of, soon as you walk in from the garage, you have that little laundry room, and it was kind of like the laundry room mud room mix. I really wanted like my own separate laundry room. Like, I think we've all seen it on Pinterest, like those beautiful laundry rooms. And I was like, this is cool, it's an actual room. I'm big on organization. I'm big on everything having its own defined separate space. So I really love the idea of having my own separate mud room. Like, this room is dedicated for the shoes and the coats and things like that. This is the dedicated catch-all room. Last thing that I wanted, that I didn't really realize that I wanted until we started doing our looking, was that I wanted the kids to have their own separate play area on the main floor. In our previous home, we kind of did that like in the dining area, because again, we didn't really use the dining area. And because I had really good storage, like I had great cabinets in the kitchen, and I also had great built-ins in the family room, I was able to store their toys and those things. So their toys weren't out, but I did want them to have like their own dedicated play area. Again, that was a want, because if we didn't have that, I know how to make it work. And I know how to kind of buy furniture that kind of stores that stuff away. So as long as their toys are out of sight, like, I'm fine. If they have to play, amongst us, that's fine. But of course, I would love for them to have their own playroom, like on the main floor. And this is one thing that I learned that my husband, shared with me, is that he did not want a home that had a lot of steps. He doesn't like homes that have steps. He doesn't want to be shoveling snow off the steps, or wants to worry about someone falling off the steps or onto his steps. So he didn't want homes that had like a lot of steps leading up to it. And so that was something that we could not have. We came together, we wrote this list, and then in addition to that, we let our realtor know these are the areas that we would consider living in. And so now she knew what we were working with. She knew what we desired. We got all of our needs, and out of our 17 wants, we got 11 of them. When I tell you that our realtor did the darn thing, she did the darn thing. Now, I will tell you that initially it was really hard. And this is one thing she kept saying, because we were so specific with our need, it's gonna be really hard to find a resale that can fit all of this. She was like, your best bet would be to build because you have some very specific needs and wants. After going out and seeing like, okay, and again, not compromising with the wants, but having to compromise with my needs, it just did not sit well with me. So through our realtor and through Silverthorne, we were able to get everything that we needed, and we were able to get 11 out of the 17 wants. We got the sunroom, which also can pair as the kids' play area on the main floor. We also got the 5 bedrooms, potentially 6 because we do have an unfinished basement. And so we got the beautiful stairwell. I got my black iron balusters. I did not get the balcony off of our bedroom, but we did get a nice sitting area, and I did get to define that by putting in drop headers for that space. So I'm really excited about that too. We got the hardwood, or in our case, the luxury vinyl this time, on the main floor. We also got the bedroom on the main floor with the ensuite, and we have a nice sized backyard. This lot isn't as big as our first one, but it's still a great size lot. We have our own separate laundry room, and we have a walk-in pantry, which I am really excited about, and we have a mud room. In addition, that we got that I didn't know that I wanted until I saw it was coffered ceilings. And so we will also have coffered ceilings in our family room. So yeah, so that was our needs and our wants list. Let me know what you think about that. Did you have some of the same things on your list? What do you think about that? Did I mention something that you would have never thought of, or that you like, oh girl, this is a want for you, but this has to be a need for me? Let me know down below. Let's get the discussion started. That is so important to define what the objective is so that we could stay focused. I want you to dream, and I want you to dream unapologetically, okay? And we do that how? By making a needs and wants list. In the meantime, you go and take your piece and you give God the pieces.